Jones, and I just think that this trade by John Lynch just illustrates his brilliance. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, as much as I love Jimmy G, he's just worn down. His arm strength is not that good anymore. You get a guy in Alabama and Mac Jones that he fits the 49ers offense to a T. And this is just a perfect move by the San Francisco 49ers to get Mac Jones at the third overall pick. He's going to be a guy who's going to be throwing to George Kittle. He plays so well in the system. I think Mac Jones could go on a dynasty with the 49ers. I mean, he's so accurate. His release, he only goes 3/4 release, so the ball gets out of his hands quickly. This is a tremendous move by the San Francisco 49ers. This is an unbelievable move by them because now they get their quarterback, and you look at guys that they have on the edge and Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and then you have the best weapon in the NFL in George Kittle, who's going to be the best receiver in the National Football League next year. You combine that with a brilliant offensive mind. You need to get your quarterback for the next 14 years. Mac Jones is that guy. The top three of this draft, when you have Jones, Wilson, and Lawrence, it's a very good top three. Then you look at Atlanta. I really think Atlanta can go with Trey Lance because you can allow Lance to kind of learn the NFL game from Matt Ryan a little bit. Trey Lance hasn't played that much football. And Arthur Smith kind of needs to see what Lance can do well because Lance is a little bit inaccurate to parts of the field. Mac Jones has a little more touch than Lance. Lance, of course, is more talented rolling out, making throws. Lance has a higher ceiling than any quarterback in the entire draft other than maybe Zach Wilson. It is, it is already going to be Mac Jones. That's what my sources in my head tell me. There's no way that Chris Sims, who ranked Mac Jones number 5, or Justin Fields. Justin Fields is nowhere close to this top 5. I think Fields is going to maybe the Patriots, or Fields can go to the Eagles at number 12. But it's a decent move by the Eagles because you look at this. You look at the top of this class, and The Cowboys and the Broncos need to move back in this draft. Why should the Cowboys be there? What cornerback is necessarily going to be that good? Is it Surtain? Come on. You're the Cowboys. You have Gallup, Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. There's teams, you're going to have Waddle on the board there. You should not stick there whatsoever. Unless the Cowboys are going to draft Kyle Pitts, that could be a good move for the Cowboys. But the Broncos are definitely not going to stay at number 9. Now it'd be malpractice. The Broncos have the best receiving core, one of the best in the league. You have Jerry Jeudy, you have Cortland Sutton, Albert O, Noah Fant. There's no way that the Broncos should stay there. If you're the Chargers, you just let go of Hunter Henry. The Chargers have a Keenan Allen who gets hurt every single season. The Chargers need a number 1 receiver for Herbert. The Chargers should go get Jalen Waddle, or they should go up and get Devontae Smith. The Chargers, there's nothing holding them back. Then you look at the Lions. The Lions should either get Pitts, or I think the Lions should get Jalen Waddle as well. God, it's so tough. I think the Lions there's a lot of wind. I think the Lions should get Devontae Smith because you look at Jared Goff. He loves being he loves to get the ball out of his hands quickly. You have a great route runner in Devontae Smith. No way. The 49ers need Mac Jones. Mac Jones was going to go top 5 anyway. His week at the Senior Bowl, the intangibles, the way the guy sleeps every single night, 9 hours a night, the intangibles of Mac Jones you just won't find anywhere. And his accuracy, his footwork, everything about Mac Jones he's like an Eli Manning clone, and Eli Manning was well worth the number 1 overall pick, going to be a Hall of Famer, 2 championships. Mac Jones will be winning championships in the National Football League for the 49ers. I mean, Mac Jones on the Niners is going to be better than Wilson and Lawrence because Shanahan is just that good. You know, you think that the Jets with Mike LaFleur are going to have the brilliance of Kyle Shanahan. There's only one Kyle Shanahan. And him and Mac together with George Kittle, I mean, he fits their offense just absolutely perfectly. Now, the Niners gave up so many picks. They gave up a lot of first rounders, but if they win their division, those picks are going to be in the high 20s anyway. So, no, I don't think the Jets pass on Zach Wilson. That would be incredibly stupid. I mean, if the Jets take Penei Sewell, that's incredibly stupid to go back. What's his name with Darnold? Darnold is not a good. Darnold does nothing well on a football field. Not at all. I don't think so at all, Brandon. I think Mac Jones is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he's tremendous. He's so accurate. I mean, what's the problem with Mac Jones? I mean, he only had one of the greatest seasons of college football ever. He has a quick release. He can move in the pocket. His studying habits, his accuracy. The guy is as accurate as any quarterback in this class. He's one of the safest quarterbacks in this entire draft class. For people who want Justin Fields or want Trey Lance at number 3, they're foolish. It's just like with Justin Herbert last year. You know, there's a lot of hate on Mac Jones. They think that he's slow. They think that he's only good because of the guys on the outside when Jalen Waddle got injured. And Tua had a lot more talent with Jerry Jeudy and some of the guys that were at Alabama with Henry Ruggs. So, you know, I think Mac goes top 3. He fits the offense really well, Kyle Shanahan. I don't think that the belief is the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson number 2 overall. The Eagles are not making a terrible decision. The Eagles can still get Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Elijah Moore. If there's no one there at number 12, you move back, you get like Kadarius Toney in the 20s. This is one of the best receiver drafts ever. I don't think Rashad Bateman is even that good. He's like a top 7 receiver. He's like top 8. He's like a slot receiver in the NFL. I don't think Bateman's that good. Now, Bateman could surprise me, but I think Elijah Moore is even better than Bateman. You look at the Ole Miss receivers are crazy. The Eagles are making good moves. They could get 2 first-round picks the following years. They could easily get their quarterback of the future in the next couple of years. They're going to roll with Jalen Hurts as a complete placeholder as a second-round pick. It's scary. The Eagles could get Spencer Rattler or Carson Strong next year. 2 really good quarterbacks coming up next year. I think Atlanta could absolutely take Trey Lance at number 4. I don't think that would be the worst move in the world. I mean, you have Arthur Smith over there. A lot of reports are. I think Trey Lance is amazingly talented. If you hit on Trey Lance, and Trey Lance works out in Atlanta anyway, so the Falcons probably have exposure to him and Quincy Avery. If you're Atlanta and you hit on Trey Lance, I mean, then you're going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. The Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, I mean, they're absolutely screwed right now. The Panthers should move back in this draft. They are absolutely screwed in this draft. The Carolina Panthers are. They don't get Deshaun Watson. They don't get anybody. If you're they didn't get Carson Wentz. If you're Carolina, maybe you trade for Drew Lock. I mean, you trade for Jimmy G probably if you're Carolina. You give up a third for Jimmy Garoppolo to start the season next year. Jimmy G's won a lot of games. I mean, Joe Brady now, I don't know if the Panthers are going to take Justin Fields at number 8. The Patriots are also left in a really tough situation too. The Patriots were going to be very interested in Mac Jones. I also believe too that the Patriots were going to go to number 3 overall with the Dolphins. They're just incredibly lucky that the Dolphins are in the AFC East, because I bet that the Patriots really wanted Mac Jones because of the Nick Saban connection, because of Belichick and Saban. I think the Patriots would have taken Mac Jones at number 3 without any reservations either. So that is all what ended up happening in this whole thing. There were a lot of suitors for Mac Jones. The Panthers were interested in him at number 3, and it was unbelievable. Listen, if the Jets don't take Zach Wilson and Zach Wilson ends up at number 3, John Lynch is a freaking hero. He's a rock star. He's everything. The 49ers, one thing about the 49ers is they know what Robert Saleh's going to do. They know who's the offensive coordinator. They know what Matt LaFleur's brother Mike is going to do. That's the one thing. The 49ers are not stupid. They're one of the most progressive thinking, teams in the National Football League. They made the Mitchell Trubisky trade. They got Jimmy Garoppolo, who led them to a Super Bowl for a second-round draft pick. They end up getting Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They take George Kittle and C.J. Beathard late in the draft. They're re-signing Trent Williams. So first of all, if the 49ers get Zach Wilson, that's obviously a dream come true. Then they're going to have the next Aaron Rodgers. If not, they're going to get Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is like an Eli Manning. So either way, if you get Mac or Zach, either way, your team is going to be absolutely loaded. And you give away picks in the high 20s. You still have C.J. Beathard as a backup quarterback. You still have Josh Rosen as a backup quarterback. It's a good move for the 49ers. Jimmy G just gets hurt too much. I'm as big of a Jimmy G fan as anybody. I think the New York Giants should even look to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Really, I really think the Giants should, because they seem to love Daniel Jones. But you're right, Ben. I apologize. You guys know just as much as I do, but C.J. Beathard's now a Jag. That's a good move. I mean, you have Urban Meyer there. Urban Meyer has Iowa connections. That's a really good move for the Jaguars. But this was a big trade in the NFL. And there were teams. Miami was shopping that number 3 pick. Miami now is going to be at number 6. There's a possibility that Miami, they still could go Fields if they really love Justin Fields. Miami, I really think I want them to stay with Tua. I believe in Tua Tagovailoa a lot. I believe Tua could be really, really good at this level. I think the Dolphins are going to go wide receiver. You look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati should get Jamar Chase. You can get a good tackle in free agency. You're not going to get Joe Burrow's teammate. You got to accompany Joe Burrow with this guy. You look at how good the LSU receivers are. You look at how Justin Jefferson balled out. You're right, Joel. You're absolutely right. The Patriots, they're going to have to roll with Justin Fields. They're going to have to kind of cater the offense to him. The Eagles could go get Justin Fields. Mac, I know Justin and Cam Newton are pretty dang close, so maybe that's what's going to happen in New England. But New England's missing the boat here. They got good players on their roster. The Patriots should look at a Jacob Eason. They should look at James Morgan from the Jets. There's good backup quarterbacks that are not playing in the NFL right now, that are not starting. I joke about Davis Webb, but I even think Davis Webb could be better than Cam. That's going to sound ridiculous, but I don't really care. I know. I don't know. You're going to have to run like a run-heavy offense with Justin. I don't get the allure with Justin Fields, because I don't like the way that Justin Fields, yes, I like Eason a lot. I don't like the way that Justin Fields, he has a very loopy delivery, okay? And Justin Fields does not really play with great improvisational skills. That's just the way that I view Justin Fields. I view Mac Jones a lot higher than Justin Fields. Fields was one of the great college quarterbacks to play in the Big Ten Conference ever. He was a decorated high school player. The University of Georgia could have really used him. But you got to look at college football. How do guys translate into the league? Fields won a lot more than Herbert, but is Fields going to be Justin Herbert? Again, probably not. The Lions, I think, got to go wide receiver. The Bengals, you got to get Jamar Chase. I mean, Burrow and Chase is unstoppable. You look at the Bengals wide receivers; they don't have a number one on that team. You know, you could say Tyler Boyd is a number. Tyler Boyd is not a number one alpha receiver. He's a good number two receiver. He is not a number one receiver. So you look at what the Bengals need to do. T. Higgins is an all right receiver. He is a like tight end playing wide receiver. You know, I don't know if he's going to be even in the league that long. He'll be in the league 6 years. You know, you got to get Jamar Chase. You're a 1,000,000% right. You're 1,000,000% right. You're 1,000,000% right. You got to get Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Then you got to get Devontae Smith with Tua Tagovailoa. You got to start reuniting these guys together. Then the Lions should take Jalen Waddle. The Cowboys can get Kyle Pitts. The Giants are going to take Rashawn Slater. They're never trading back. Gettleman doesn't really know how to trade back. The Giants are going to get Rashawn Slater because Will Hernandez is absolutely too small to play at the NFL level. The Giants need to have a run-grading, blocking guard that you can pair with Shane Lemieux. So Slater's going to be the pick. He's a guy from Texas. I think his dad played in the NBA as a basketball player, so he has all the pedigree. If you have a dad who's played professional sports, who's a stand-up dude, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to have great studying habits when you get to the league. That's the type of guy that you want to draft, you know? So I think that Rashawn Slater to the Giants at number 11 out of Northwestern, Ivy League of the Midwest, that's going to be a pretty good pick. It's going to be a good pick. I'll be pissed off if the Eagles get Smith or Jalen Waddle. I'll be pissed. But I hope that the Eagles don't get any of those guys. I hope the Eagles take Justin Fields so that they can have Fields and Jalen Hurts, and they can figure out on one of those guys. That's what I would love the Eagles to do. I think Pitts is okay, but I think that Pitts is a little bit of a risk because you see guys like Noah Fant, you see Evan Ingrams. They don't shatter the league. You know, could he be Kittle or Kelsey? Maybe. Everybody always talks about a fast tight end and what a difference that they can make. And it rarely leads to a groundbreaking, incredible player. I like Waddle. I like Smith. I think Chase is probably going to be very, very good. But I'd say Waddle and Smith. And to me, I maybe even rate Jalen Waddle the number one receiver because there's never been a faster guy that I've ever watched in college than Jalen Waddle. And he's always a threat. You can use him as a decoy. You can hand it to him on an end around. As an offensive coordinator, you got Jalen Waddle. Now, I think Smith is a little bit thin, but Smith is a really good route runner. His play speed is great. I mean, I think Smith is dang good as well. I'd go Smith and Waddle. It's so tough to distinguish. And whoever's going to have a better career is whoever has a better coordinator or a better quarterback is going to have a better NFL career. And then you look at Chase is very, very good as well. I mean, the back half of the first round, too. You have Terrace Marshall, who could be a freak. He's going to go in the first round. Kadarius Toney is unbelievable. I mean, you look at Toney, and he could be in the top 4 of wide receivers. I know. You just have to hope that the Jets, and you know what? The Giants and Jets fans have kind of had a rivalry lately because the Giants have been awful. I mean, in the past 10 years, excluding the Super Bowl win, the Giants, I believe since 2012, they haven't won a playoff game. I think then in the last 9 years, in 8 of the last 9 years, they failed to win like 8 games or more. So they've sucked. So the Jets and the Giants are pretty much at equal footing because the Giants have had a horrible decade of football. So the Jets and the Giants have a rivalry, and I don't really want to see Zach Wilson in the same city as the Giants, so I hope the Jets don't take him, but I know Jet Central, you know, I bet the Jets fans really want Zach Wilson, and there's no reason they shouldn't want him. It's too obvious. if the Niners can get Zach Wilson, but I don't think I already told you guys the Niners are getting Mac. I think that Mac is really good. The Niners are comfortable at that, and I think it's Mac. And I've told you what I think is going to happen. I'll do my mock draft right now. Let's do a little mock draft. I'm going to have Wilson going to the Jet. I'm going to have Lawrence, Wilson, Mac. The Falcons, I'm going to have the Falcons actually surprising people, taking Kyle Pitts number 5 or number 4. That leads Jamar Chase right to the Bengals. God, I don't want them to take Penei Sewell. That would be a horrible draft pick because then you miss out on Jamar Chase. I'll take Chase to the Bengals. I'll take Smith then to Dolphins. Number 7. Number 7, you got to go with Jalen Waddle. Number 8, then Carolina. Then that's a good draft pick of Penei Sewell for Carolina. Number 9, the Cowboys can either take Surtain, but they should trade out of that pick. It's interesting though. After all the receivers go, after Penei Sewell goes in the top 8, there's a very clear top 8 here. Then the Giants are going to take Rashawn Slater. The Patriots are going to end up, maybe the Patriots go, but like a Kadarius Toney would be a great pick for the Patriots. I don't know if they're going to do that. They're probably going to go with like a Terrace Marshall, really good receiver. The Patriots go. I mean, the Patriots, they have Nelson Aguilar. They're going to get a really good receiver at number 15 for Cam Newton. They're going to be rolling with Cam next year as their quarterback. Maybe the Patriots can get another first-round pick. Actually, the Patriots should trade out and get Carson or Spencer Rattler next year. That's what should end up happening. But what a trade. Jimmy Garoppolo, his time is pretty much done in San Francisco. It's sad to see that happen, but injuries will do that to you. And I think Mac, Kyle, and John Lynch, I think if they're getting Zach Wilson or Mac Jones, probably Mac Jones, it's still going to be a great haul for the 49ers. I don't know why Niners fans are pissed off. Watch Mac Jones at Alabama play. You shouldn't get pissed off at all.